Hey folks, Eric the Old Jarhead here. Alright, let's get right into this one. This is an interesting topic that I see come up now and then, and really it's whether or not milling up small logs is worth it to the customer or to the small sawmill operation. I'm going to break down the value of this log once it's milled up at the end of this video. So stick around because I'm going to go through the numbers and explain what this was worth, what the yield was, and whether or not it's worth it for a customer or a small sawmill operation to mill up a small log like this. Now, this log was about 13, 14 inches in diameter and 5 feet long, and I'll go through what I got out of it in the 1x6 that this customer was looking for, what that cost the customer, and what it would cost the customer or somebody to go out and buy 1x6 black locust lumber. We got it up on the deck, and the little guy actually helped me out there. That was kind of cool. And look at the grain pattern there. Really neat. And look at the color in that wood. Almost like a black walnut. It's really cool. You don't always see that in the black locust. A lot of times you don't get that dark heart in it. But this one had it, so it was kind of beautiful, really, to see that. You just don't always get that. You know, the one thing about these short logs like this is they can be a little bit of a challenge to get them positioned on the deck, and sometimes you got to move them around a little bit. And you know, those side supports, they're 11.5 inches tall, just a little bit less than 12 inches. So you can see the height isn't much above those, so it's not a real thick log, really. But we're going to get it milled up, and once I get down into camp, we'll get on the superset and we'll knock it down. So we're going to mess around with it a little bit. We're going to get this thing milled down, and then I'm going to go over what it was worth and if it was worth milling this up, and I'll let you decide. And be sure at the end of this, put your comments down below. Let me know what you thought about whether or not it was worth milling this log up for the customer. All right, we're getting down there now. So let's talk about what this short 5-foot log was worth. Now, I will tell you, I went out and I did a little research to find out what black locust was selling for. And I'll be honest, I had a really tough time finding much in the way of pricing online. There was a lot of sites that said, send me an email to get a quote. But I did find some. One of them was pretty expensive. Now this was for kiln dried down to 12% and surfaced 4 sides, and it ran $16.75 a board foot. And that's a lot. The lowest I found was for 1 by 3.5, surfaced 4 sides and kiln dried, and that was running over $7 a board foot. So when I did the math on this log, the yield, that is strictly what I milled out of it. So I'm milling 1 by 6s. So even though the flitches were 8 to 10 inches wide, we actually edged those down and turned those into 1 by 6s as well. So I got 32.5 board feet out of this log. When I did the math on that, that meant that the value of the lumber that we got out of this log was about $250 once it's dried and surfaced 4 sides. The cost to mill this log was about $25. Now it took me about 20 minutes, and at my hourly rate of $100 an hour, that's $20. But you also have to figure that there are some other costs associated with having a portable sawyer come out and mill for you. For example, there's going to be some mileage and setup fees, but that all gets amortized over the entire length of the job. So I roughly calculated about a $5 extra on this log. So a $25 cost to the customer to mill up this 5-foot log yielded him potentially $250 worth of lumber. The log yielded 10 times the cost to mill it up in lumber if he were to go out and buy that lumber. That's a pretty significant savings. I'd say that it was worth it for him to mill that 5-foot log up. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. And if you like this video, I'm going to put another one right here about that little guy helping me out on the mill. You saw him do it a little bit here. I've got another video that kind of shows him running the hydraulics. It's really awesome. Thanks for watching. Again, everybody, have a great day and check this next video out. The Old Jarhead out.